Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny, and I got my Greek brother in the building, man.
Fucking... I say
introduce yourself.
I can't... it's Dimitri Apostolos Films. I'm here with my cousin Vinny. Fucking Versatile Vigilante, man. Fucking...
My guy.
That's all I gotta say, man.
Fire intro. Cheers to you, man.
Cheers, man.
Very excited to get this conversation going, bro. We were talking a little bit before we even just started. I love talking to filmers, man, photographers, videographers, because you guys see everything. So I think we're gonna have a banger today, man.
There might be some secrets exposed tonight. 100%. Especially when I'm liquored up. Like, it's just what it is. You're gonna hear some shit. It's probably public knowledge already, but I will be just another person to confirm it. Hopefully.
There we go. Just confirming or denying. That's all.
Confirming, denying. Yes. That's
awesome, bro. So, yeah, I want to learn a little bit more about before you even got into the game. Are you born and raised in Toronto? Talk a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, I'm born and raised in. I can't say Toronto. Within the GTA. Basically, yeah. I mainly just like did my stuff within like Vaughan, Brampton, Mississauga. Like that's where like I guess my beginnings sort of started. But more or less, like I'm a huge film nerd. So like man, more specifically like Grindhouse movies, horror, like epic war movies. Not like 300 because like it's epic, but it's like that. Those aren't the type. Like I'm talking about like Saving Private Ryan, maybe even Troy. Like something that has more grounds of realism. And I just love history. So it's like it's weird how it all became what it's becoming now. So like where the passion started from, at least.
That makes sense, bro. Especially, I don't know, you're Greek descent, correct?
Yeah.
I'm sure your parents probably talked about your culture to you a lot growing up in that.
Well, actually, I can't say it's the opposite, but basically, like I do Greek dancing. I went to Greek school for like a couple months, but because my dad traveled a lot for work, and like he wanted me to be like more American, like, you know, like play football, hockey. Like he knew we were Greek, but he didn't care for me to learn the language like that. My mom, on the other hand, is like the exact opposite. She was teaching us Greek and having us go and like understand our culture. And then it was literally just like I would say elementary school. Like you just got to take stuff in your own hands. So I just like obviously listen to Greek music, you know, like just interact with the culture more. And then if you want to learn more, embed yourself in it. So I went like outside of the stuff that we do down here. I go to Greece a lot. And a lot of my biggest videos are actually like in Greece. So once I did the workout there, I was able to show off like, hey, here's what I can like really do with it. Even if it's like a light budget, because that's the other thing too. Like we try not to go too big on budgets. Like we have done that for past projects, but I like one thing in Greece that they do is they it's like stretching a budget almost. Like they're not giving a lot, but you got to work with what you got, and like that whole mindset of just like you could really do anything you want, doesn't matter what budget, is like basically like the humble beginnings. I learned that out there, and I thought, I'm gonna just bring it down here. Like, and I think it's like that for a lot of people, or even some people just develop that on their own. So
I completely agree, bro. It's kind of like if you're not able to turn like a small situation into something really sick, yeah. If you have a big budget, what are you really gonna do with it? You know?
Fuck, man. There have been sometimes we had big budgets, and like, not that it felt too easy, because I don't obviously, like, stress isn't good and all of that, yeah. But maybe it's just the adrenaline like that comes from like, we don't know if this is gonna work, but fuck it, let's go right into it. And then like and that's like in the last moments while you're filming, rather than like 2 weeks before you've done like multiple tests and like, oh, we know this is gonna work, and you just sit there just like, okay. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, that's even better than having the stress and having that adrenaline, because there's going to be more or less chance it's not going to work, and then you got to just think of something on the spot fast, and then you just fucking, that's it. Like, that's it.
I feel you, bro. As a kid, being a film guy, were you always seeing yourself as wanting to make films and videos at some point?
Yes, but on the opposite side on the cameras. Because when I was younger, like, I watched all these movies, but I was like, fuck yeah, I could be Harry Potter. Like, and that's what happened. I was
get that lightning scar in your head.
Hell yeah! I have the glasses. Like, I have the glasses, like, and everything, and like, grab a twig out in the fucking woods, and when
really
Guardian Leviosa, boom, fucking. But it was like that, and then it went to music, because then like I always liked music, and specifically like I was in the punk rock, like heavy metal first while doing all like my stuff, and then as I went into high school and like started traveling more for my dad's work, that's when I started listening to hip hop, because I like seeing street performers rap in different languages. I lived in Shanghai for a bit, like in China, so like even then they would have people rapping on the streets. I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but there's something about it that just got me amped. And then throughout high school, meeting different artists, learning about different, even like around the time in high school, like I'm 26, so Chief Keef was blowing up around my last bit of high school.
95?
Yep, 95.
Same, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. September.
So, what day?
13th.
Bro, I'm 23rd.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Fuck, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
Vigilante facts right here. Let's go.
Vigilante Virgos.
Shout out Sosa, man.
Yeah, that's what it is, Sosa. but fucking yeah, like and around that time, like I knew about certain Chicago rappers. I did not know about Chief Keef, and then fucking all of a sudden in high school, people are playing and this is after I got back from Shanghai. People are playing Love Sosa before the Finally Rich album came out, and they were playing all like the Everyday's Halloween, fucking I don't know them, like all the bangers.
John Madden,
and then that. Oh my god, dude, that's why I love the new Chief Keef mixtape now, because that new mixtape brought me back to those vibes, and that's when I went. And seeing how rough edged those videos were, not because like, oh, they're in the gutter and this and that. It was the style which they chose to color correct it. Not on a huge budget, but let's say they were given a big budget. Like if AZae was given the budget that he gets now back in the day, like I personally think he would have, even back then, would have done some revolutionary shit, just because you could see where his mindset was while filming those videos, even if it's as simple as the hyperactive slow motion and the color correction, because it helped tailor what we do now. So
bro, you're really speaking my language right now, because that shit influenced me super heavy, because we're literally watching it at the same time. And yo, I was never a kid who was too much into like the Young Money era, or like not even really MMG shit. When that Chief Keef shit came, I'm like, this is for me, bro. Like,
I don't know how, but I agree. But that's how I was. Like, I would say even slightly before Chief Keef, it would be, for me, either parody rap, like if I heard like Lonely Island, or if I heard Afro Man, Rucka Rucka Ali, fucking that's a whole different side of that. But like I was into meme rap essentially. And then one day I go to Michigan and I said, fuck it, like I'm gonna listen to some more rap. And I fucking got Gucci Mane and Waka Flocka's mixtape, the red Lamborghini.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It wasn't Ferrari Boys.
No, it was Ferrari Boys. Ferrari Boys. Yeah. No, not Lamborghini. Ferrari
Boys.
But yeah, bangers. And that led from that to Chief Keef, and like the rap was always around me. It's just like, again, like your music sways at different times. Like I said, like I was like, when I tell you I was in the like heavy metal, I wasn't not like the traditional heavy metal. I'm talking about like dudes from Finland, like fucking crazy shit,
the real shit.
Yeah, like again, it's for me, it's more adrenaline when it comes to music. Like I'll listen to
spirit.
Spirit, and like I'll listen for the lyrics. There are songs that I have that I don't play a lot, but when I play them, it's like that's my track. Like or if I hear it, that's my track. I'll know all the lyrics. But then there's just phases where I just need that fucking like dopamine rush and just boom, like go inside with it. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
No, I completely understand, bro. And I'm glad you brought up the Chief Keef talk, because I think we grew up in a really interesting time where we started to see that, oh, we have access to the exact same technology that everyone else has access to. So at 16, I could put out a song and it could become the biggest fucking thing in the world. And that started a huge thing, bro. Like, it kind of, the SoundCloud shit came from that. God. Filmers, I think, got a lot more freedom from that.
And that's the key thing. Like, a lot of, because especially, like they said, like around the time the whole Chief Keef, SoundCloud, not Chief Keef wasn't SoundCloud, just but like, a little before. But yeah, just a little before. I would say like Datpiff and all that. A lot of his mixtapes were on there.
Yeah.
And basically, like when the best thing I would say is, I know a lot of people like say Cole Bennett. It wasn't Cole Bennett for me that made me realize I think shit's gonna get crazier. And then Cole Bennett came afterwards. It was like, I would say I like to call them the Chicago Trio. Lack of Films, DG Gaines, and AZae Productions. Those
So
are
fire.
Those three. I was seeing the amount like they all started doing Famous Dex's videos, and then the whole FGB guys, and then like when Cole Bennett came in. There was another rapper I fucked with. I was from Chicago that we were supposed to work with that passed away. His name was EBE Bandz, like a white boy rapper.
I remember that was a crazy story.
Yeah, and we were the week before all that shit happened because he got Trey the Truth and all of that, like from Texas. Like he fucked with EBE Bandz. They had a track together. He was in one of his videos. I think none of this got ever released. Like there's a trailer I think, but they just posted that as like more of a memorial type thing. And like we were hitting him up. We were in the talks. We were supposed to fly out to LA, do some work. Didn't hear from him in the month, and we're thinking we knew he's on parole, so we're thinking okay, maybe he's hiding out parole, and then fucking boom, find out his body's been burned in a forest. Like I was like, holy shit. Which is sad because like he got lots of views, and this is where I think a lot of videographers, where even though there's a business aspect, there's also like I fuck with homie type like of aspect because as like if you see a videographer work with an artist more than 4 videos. Like, obviously, business can be business. There's also a personal relationship that comes with it.
Absolutely.
I didn't know EBE Bandz. I talked with him, like, a few times. But he was a real dude. And I could tell he was a real dude. And we're all, like... I'm not going to be the one to be like, oh, dude, like, focus on this. Get out of the streets. Like, in the end, like, enough people have been saying that to him. So who am I to say whatever? Like, you know, I told him, like, yo, man, as long as you want to work with me, I will fucking give you the best video. Especially because of knowing how hard he went in. And then... I like to say every videographer has a missed opportunity with people before they blow up. I feel like, for example, we also had contact with Jack Harlow. Okay. Jack Harlow came to... The first show he ever did in Toronto was 2017 at the Velvet Underground. He went there twice, 2017, 2018. First time he came was a fucking snowstorm. Only 20 people showed up in the audience for that. But his songs are at a few million in the US, so we got a chance to talk with him. He was very cool, chilling with everybody. And you see a dude get 1 million views in Texas at that time. You don't think he's about to be a fucking megastar. He comes the next year, go see him that year. You know, same thing. Maybe 50 people show up. All of a sudden, what's poppin'? Fucking all this shit happen. And now he's at history. He was at 50 people before, and now at history with 3,000 people. He's telling everybody, yo, who's rocking with me 2017, 2018? And, like, I'm sitting here like, bro, I was this close to getting a video with that guy. And then he's like, yo, he's like, this is the closest we'll ever get. Now he's at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. That's it.
He's at that. Yeah, he's a star. Like.
He's a star, and that's why I like to say like there's missed opportunity moments like with Jack Harlow. I'm like shit, that could have been something there. Like, you know, if I made the right move or said fuck it, I'll come to you. Maybe that would have happened, and maybe I could have been the one to shot Sundown, or maybe one of the ones that put him on. Maybe I could have been the one to shoot What's Poppin'. Maybe
right.
But I think that's where certain directors have the right mindset. Like Cole, this is where I could transition into Cole Bennett now. Cole Bennett, he shot for EBE Bandz. I'm not gonna lie. You look at that video, that looks like a 2014 Toronto video. You know, like whack transitions, whack. Like I can't even say 2014. That because even then that was more like there was a lot of clean videos for 2014. Yeah. I'll say 2010, 2009, 2010. That's like it looked like that type of video. And then to see him do Lil Pump, again, Famous Dex.
Yeah.
And then he thought, fuck it, I'm going to do the Lyrical Lemonade shows, get more money, bring more of these artists, and then work a deal out where if I do these shows, I'll also film for them as well and have that be a package deal. He was smart as fuck for that. And then now what he does is he'll see a new artist blow up, and he'll say, send me 20 tracks. Almost like like an artist when he tells his producer, send me 20 beats. He'll choose like 3 of those beats out of like the fucking 50 or 20 he sends. And that's what he does. He's like, send me all these tracks. I'll choose which ones I want to film. And he chose What's Poppin' because... And mind you, all the albums that we heard Jack Harlow listen to now, he probably had recorded around that time when he did What's Poppin'. Maybe not the newest one, but the 2 ones that came before that. So, I'm not gonna lie, there were songs I probably would have chosen over What's Poppin'. But, like, the fact that he said that, and not only that, the thing where Cole Bennett is also smart in, and I think that a lot more, as the scene gets more saturated, I want to see a lot more of is being creative with a very simple premise. There's no storyline for What's Poppin'.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of shots, but the setting felt right, the way it transitioned felt right, the way everything played out. Even the chick's fucking smoking a French fry in it, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, but video's lit, it makes sense. So
It
works. And like that's where Cole Bennett, like I said, he does his shit very well. Like he knows when to do a storyline and make it like a spectacle, and when to just keep it as the vibe. And I think that's where sometimes like we can get confused. Like sometimes people say vibe against stereotype Toronto video, telly video.
Yes.
Get an Airbnb, get a few bottles, bring the homies, let's smoke some weed, and let's shoot a banger video. I'm not gonna lie, those vibes are cool, even with the homies. You know, all you're doing is just enjoying the time. You're fucking all hyped up. You're doing your thing. That's that. There's so many of those fucking videos though. Maybe you could switch it up. You know, maybe instead of inviting all the bros out, cut half of that. Call a few friends maybe from high school that aren't within that scene that can maybe act or play a part, and just set up a whole different scene. And that's basically, like, I feel like what some of us are trying to do now.
I feel you, and I think that's where your film knowledge comes in handy too, because, bro, not everyone watches movies and shit, you know, and that's kind of wild to think about. Because I've watched bear movies too, but some don't. So you have a different perspective that others don't have, where it's like, oh, there's this, you gain inspiration from all this different shit.
And that's, in the end, that's what I like, because on top of that, like, you can tell which videographers are solely, like, I can tell which ones start off from doing other types of video work, like skateboard videos, or just like sports videos, like recap videos. You can tell because the way their mindset and structure is. That's not saying they're not going to transition into that point where they're like, wanna know what? Like, cinematography and like getting a proper production, getting the right format is what I want to do. Everybody has that phase. Fuck, even me. I watched all these movies, man. The first few years when I was charging like $30-$50 for a video. Like, and this is when I was also in elementary school. So grade 6 is when I started filming.
Grade 6 filming.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense to a lot of people, because it's like, who the fuck are you filming at grade 6? Myself. Like, I'm doing skits, I'm doing whatever, and I realized changing the angles. My brother taught me how to get a cracked version of Adobe. Dope. So the torrent ages were the fucking lifesaver, man.
I agree.
Didn't pay shit. Fuck that shit. I fucking just, my brother taught me that. Downloaded it, and I learned through myself. And before I edited in Premiere, I was editing in After Effects. I didn't even know there was a difference. Like, I said the image came up, and when I exported, it may be a 20 gigabyte file, which took up my
massive.
Fucking massive back then. But I got my video, so I'm happy. I would upload that shit to YouTube, and then I went from Adobe cracked to Windows Movie Maker for some reason. But I would keep the Adobe After Effects. I knew I could still do effects in it. And I would just play off that and just keep doing it. But as I was doing that, my film taste changed as well. Because, again, I was doing a lot of, like, I loved war films. So and even to this day, I fucking watched The Northman, which is not a war film. If you all think it's going to be an action movie, it's an art movie.
Yeah.
And I don't mind art movies. I like weird shit too. This is some next level of shit. I did not expect seeing what the fuck I saw in that movie. And it wasn't even graphic, it was just weird. But I went from watching all these epic $100 million, like, massive army type movies to watching like $5,000 low budget horror movies that came out on VHS in the 90s. And then that $5,000 that they spent on that made them $500,000 just from the VHS market. So within that time, as I was doing the music videos, I was doing commercials for random, like, companies, like whatever video work I could get. Because at this point I knew if I touch a camera, I know what to do with it. I want to hit every avenue in case something doesn't work out. And that's where I think also a lot of other videographers, they limit themselves into music videos. Even me, a lot of people, they know me from music videos. But I can also say, while we've done a lot of music videos, we've done a fuck ton of commercials. I don't know how many countless events, whether it's non-music related, sports, maybe just like community events. So it's like using that talent and using it in different areas. And even now, weddings. Like, if you want to be honest, secret code for videographers, weddings are the bag. If you want a bag from this, and that can help you get to that Cole Bennett level where you can say, fuck it, I have a red cam now, I can do this, I can do that. Weddings, if you don't have someone or a friend that's super plugged in as an artist, like, is the quickest way you'll get all of that done. Especially because, like, weddings, they might pay minimum $2,000 for, maybe minimum $1,000. But my first $1,000 I ever got was from a wedding.
Nice.
Like I would shoot even now music videos. It's really rare to get $1,000 for a budget in Toronto unless you have specific equipment, unless you're clicked in with certain people and they know like
you kind of have a built-in name already.
Yeah. And then there's also the way you're gonna play the game. In the end, the music industry is a game, and same with the video industry now. So as much like my film knowledge comes in for that. This whole new age, like as far as like I said, the film knowledge from me like doing my videos on set, what I'm inspired off of. In the end, this whole new age of marketing, this whole new age of getting the specific thing you want to get to help traject you to that next level, like you got to kind of sell yourself a bit, but not in the good way. Like for example, I like to get paid for every project I do, only because this is my full-time job. This isn't, I incorporated in 2015 for a reason. This isn't a joke to me. This is my bread and butter. And I'm not going to say I haven't done a free video, but the free video also comes with certain things. Like, for example, gas is still going to need to be paid for. Same with food on set. Okay, maybe they might give me $60 for that. There's another deal that's being made behind the scenes in regard to why that's free or maybe why it's discounted. Like, for example, when people fly us out, I'll tell them, like, you fly, like, let's say for some reason you decide to fly me out to Italy and you want to do a video out there. I'm not going to charge you $1,500 plus the fly out and hotel. I'm going to tell you, okay, we're going to do $750 and you're going to pull 2 other tracks out from your library and we're going to shoot 3 videos while we're out in Italy. Because I know the scenery is so fucking different out there than what we get out here. We can literally shoot 3 videos within the time of us walking around. While you're in the country too, what are you going to do? Walk around, explore. And especially while you're exploring with a group, instead of like maybe you're with your significant other or your or like maybe your coworker. When you walk around in a group, you experience more. You might come up with more ideas. Fuck, maybe even the video that gets you that 1 million views might be created within that 2-minute span of you talking, and then you go out and shoot it. All of a sudden, holy shit! Like that's just what happens sometimes. So, like in that cases, discounts. Like you got to work with it, like within that game. But then now, what we see a lot is a lot of people are just doing free videos just so they can be the guy on top.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling out anybody in particular because again, I know all of us have done it as far as videographers. It's what it is. But then it's when even the seasoned videographers that have been in the scene they're not trying to do free videos, but they work within the same community. It's like all of our clients are now going to you guys because you guys shoot for them for free, but like, and now they're expecting less from us. So like I know someone that was charging $500. Even $500 is pretty like minimum for a video, even just running gun.
Yeah. And
he lost, I think, half of his clients because another videographer was shooting everything for free, or he would shoot at a $250 rate. And he's like, there has to be at least a talk amongst us to keep everything the same. Not because we're trying to screw over artists or anything, but again, like, I know the equipment that people spend, like cameras, like you can get a used camera that shoots 4K for maybe $900, and obviously you'll make your money back within time, but we're not trying to like do it so we can make all the money and then we just rock with that. We're trying to make sure we can be at our best. Even me, like paying for Adobe Cinema 4D, all the stuff I need to do the effects and everything, it costs me several $100s a month.
Facts.
That's a month.
People don't realize that, man.
It is.
That's real shit.
And I also understand the artist side of it as well. And like you said earlier, like we see everything. So, and that's where I also say if you're a successful videographer, you might have a thicker skin than others. Because me, I'm kind of naive. Like, I'm also understand people are human. So someone can give me a story, whether it's true or not. Who's to say I don't know? Who's to say I know what's going on? So on what? All right, maybe we can reschedule a shoot even though we were supposed to shoot today. Or maybe, hey, can you send back a deposit? Like we have a thing in the contract that says deposits are non-refundable, so I'll keep half of it for that next day we shoot, but I can at least send you half back to help with the troubles.
Yeah.
It's like, sometimes you got to bend the rules a bit, but at the same time, it's also like if we don't have that baseline, then there's going to be no work for us out here.
There's a quote that I have heard before where it's like, if I could do a job in an hour, I'm not charging $1,000 for the hour. I'm charging you for the thousands of hours I did to get to this point.
Oh, hell yeah. And even me, man, like my specialty in terms of like what I think I'm best at, I think I'm really great at being a camera operator, but effects and like editing is more my thing. Like I could sit down, I could if I really put the time, and when I say like a 9 hour, like let's say like a 9 to 5 type shift, 8-9 hours sitting down just editing, I could have a whole video done with effects like within that time.
You could fuck it up.
Oh, and that's what we've done that. Like there have been times and I know a lot of videographers like to post like, oh dude, I edited this fucking video in a day, like I'm the hottest guy out here. All of us can edit in a day if you have the right computer setup and the right camera you're using with it. That shit can literally be done in a couple of hours. It's just a matter of how creative is it. You edited a whole music video. Maybe you even edit it with effects. I even said this to myself because this specific video I'm talking about is AR Paisley's Fuck Rap video. We shot that and we were with some fucked conditions in the sense of AR Paisley had his leg broken.
Okay.
And we were thinking, how are we going to do these shots without him standing up? We want him to move around, want him to do his thing. We said, fuck it, he'll be sitting down, whatever. There was no plan for that video. It was just show up to this apartment, film, show up, young Tory, his people are there, and we're in a really tiny apartment. So everybody's trying to do their thing. We still ended up shooting the video. And it wasn't a long video. It was a very quick, like, shoot, 2 hours, I think, and the song's 1 minute and 30 seconds. So within the first hour of me getting back home, I already had all the performance stuff chopped up. Normally at this time, if we had like a 3-minute song, I would still have to incorporate all the slow motion and maybe try the first bits of coloring. But I literally just started hammering in the effects, and then I started adding in the slow motion, and then all of a sudden, like, I think maybe 4 or 5 hours passed by, the whole video's done. So I just, without titles, so all I did was send it off to AR and Kevin Rowley, and I was like, what do you guys think? And they were like, it's fucking sick, man. Just finish it up and just send it off, and we'll get ready for the release. And I think that video like is sitting at like 700K right now on Rap Nation. And that prompted us to do a second one. So we were like, fuck it, let's do Fuck Rap Part 2. And then we did same thing. Shot in like 2 hours in a random studio. This time AR Paisley's leg wasn't broken, so he can move around a bit more and do his thing. This one, I can't say I took more time on. I think this one took 4 days of editing, but that's also because we had other projects in between that we were filming. But I like to choose those, like, certain types of videos to have that be the challenge for me. Let's see what I can get done within this time and how creative I can make it, even though there's no baseline for a story, no baseline for, like, if we're going to create a theme with it. Like, for the Fuck Rap Part 1, it was mainly the fact that we have no green screen, and I'm doing green screen type of effects. So I'm literally cutting around AR and, like, adjusting it to every movement frame by frame. And I was basically, like, he had a line where he says, he calls himself the Dark Magician. He's inside the apartment. Boom, the background changes to like the library from Doctor Strange with the little gold fucking thing that he does to bring himself to another portal. Or when he says, you know, he's eating these beats or he's killing these beats, I literally had a 3D music note come in and then it gets sliced in half with blood splurting. Like,
fire.
You know, like simple stuff like that. And then the second one was, okay, he's standing, the piano's the main theme, so we're going to have, like, while he's performing and all the visual effects are going crazy, I said, Kevin, as the song progresses, just fucking hammer the keyboard as hard as you can to the beat. And we'll just have it gradually build and just have that be it. And then, like, you know, that's our little theme.
Fire.
Yeah. Again, small things. And it's small things where I think if we didn't have it, I'm not going to say the video would have sucked. The video would have probably still done the same or still had the same reaction. But, again, little things in Cole Bennett videos. He has the people sitting monotone rapping at the camera. That's, like, one of our things. I like crazy camera movements. Something that feels very amateur. And that leads back to the low budget movies I like, you know, like
those little things make it great though.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like you could tell my judgment for especially music videos, if I'm smoking, is the song good and the video's fire to watch. Like those old Fredo Santana videos, like shit like that, man.
Oh my god.
The that type of shit with those little effects where it's like, oh, this is so fire. Like
that's the thing though, even Lil Reese, I think Lil Reese had that song. Who got that drink? I got that drink.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. When the camera would go slow motion, I know they poured up in that fucking big ass jug, whatever they had. bro, the slow motion, the way the smoke shots went, like, again, like,
It's cool,
AZae had that, like, that little thing in each video that kept that, I think, made Cole Bennett, like, I think, and it's not like Cole Bennett studied AZae and went, oh, I see what he's doing, I'm gonna go do this. It's unknowingly just
Bro,
doing
you're probably
it.
a fan.
Yeah, probably.
Real shit.
And on top of that, that's why I also got to go in, like, homaging shit, like Quentin Tarantino, like, best fucking director, like, in cinema as far as the modern ages. Every single project he's done has been, like, 20 movies combined in one. And even me, man, like, one specific genre I like, I know you're Italian, the Italian giallo or Italian, like, Rambo knockoffs or
My brother
cannibal
loves
movies.
those, bro.
I love, when I tell you I have a deep love for those movies, those were the original low budget movies I would watch. Like,
Amazing soundtracks, by the way. Sorry to
Holy
interrupt.
shit,
the
no.
music on those is top tier.
And I think they knew they didn't have the budget, but just like how I said, like in Greece, it's not about budget, it's about what you can do and who's just down to do it.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if you're getting paid, just let's see what turns out. And for example, in Glorious Bastards, not a lot of people know that it's an Italian World War II movie from 1978. Different premise, entirely different premise, but he brought certain people back from that movie into the new one. Like, when they're showing the movie scene in the theater before they shoot up the theater, the American general that said, you know how important that tower is? He's the fucking dude from the original movie.
Fire.
Even Fred Williamson, who's a football player from back in the day, he was huge within the Italian movie scene. And Quentin Tarantino acknowledged that. I like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He, what was it? What's his face? Leonardo DiCaprio's character, big star, did all these movies. All of a sudden, he said, yo, I made more money in Italy than I did my whole fucking Hollywood career, and I did all these low-budget movies. But when you look at those low-budget movies, it's like, it's impressive.
They were so influential.
Yeah.
They accomplished so much with so little.
And I would say they accomplished so much. And it's funny because, like, obviously those movies would only be seen in specific countries because the European market would cater to Asia, just like how Asia would cater to Europe.
Right.
So I know a lot of movies from the Philippines, a lot of movies from Pakistan, a lot of movies from Iran. They would all be shipped off to Europe. And people in Europe, it would have a cultural growth in Europe, like a cult fan base. Same with the European movies. They'd go off to North America on the VHS markets or to Asia, like in the movie theater markets, and it would just fucking blow up. So even I remember there's a movie called Strike Commando, which is literally Rambo 2, carbon copy, but they just changed a few actors and maybe did a 1-2 thing a bit crazier. Over here, people are like, this movie, shit, what the fuck is this? Out there, when I went to China, the fact that I even saw posters of this movie inside certain VHS shops, like it's like an inside joke. It's like a joke that you're in on.
That's exactly.
So you just fucking flip your shit, and that's what also made me feel like more of like a weirdo nerd at the same time. So I'm like, I'm literally the only one that's probably flipping out about this in Toronto right now. I'm probably the only one that knows about this information in Toronto right now, and but that's what I like. Because in the end, whatever, and I contact these directors, they're still alive and kicking it. You can contact these dudes that do the low budget, and they will respond to you and give you every bit of information they told us. And that's where director's influence comes in. That's why, like, outside Quentin Tarantino, one other director, quickly, Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings. A lot of people go, oh, Lord of the Rings. He chose a lot of that budget stretching, even though he got millions of dollars for it. He could have done a lot of shit like he did in The Hobbit. He could have just done green screen and said, fuck you guys, that's it. He decided to do everything. Practical, green screen, everything. And that's what made it the fucking legend of a movie it is. But if you see his first 3 movies he did in his life, one's called Bad Taste, one's called Meet the Feebles, the other one's called Evil Dead. These are the most tasteless, goriest fucking comedic movies I've ever seen in my life. I know the first one, he shot it for $100,000 in New Zealand. Took him 4 years to make it. Just shot it on the weekends with his friends. Put it in the film festival, didn't think much of it. All of a sudden, the New Zealand Film Board said, we're going to give you an extra $150,000 to finish this and fucking go on a next project. Then he did Meet the Feebles, which was like basically Sesame Street, but if it was X-rated.
Okay.
Fucking wild movie. Shouldn't watch that when you're 10. My parents didn't know that it was going to be like that. So when you see an elephant doing coke, it's just what it is. You got to play along with the punches. So
hey, that's the streets, man.
That's the streets. You learn from a young age.
Real
and
shit.
Then Evil Dead, which was just like a gory zombie movie. And I watched that, again, all under, I think, like $1 million even back then was a lot. But for Hollywood, no. Like, the fuck? Like,
Nothing.
for what he did in those movies, man, it taught me so much at a young age. And again, unknowingly bringing it into my projects. So we'll get a budget, and then I'll literally look back at archives of footage on how people did certain shit, or when my stabilizer breaks, what the fuck did they do?
Yeah.
Weighted balance. So just basically get a stick, put some weights, find the weight of your camera, and just try to do your best.
Just rock it out.
Yeah.
Real shit, bro.
Real shit.
It's very important for those types of guys like Tarantino and Peter Jackson, like those huge names.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important for those guys to be in big positions because of where they came from. They're weirdos just like us, and that helps us.
Exactly.
And that's huge. Other people might see them for Lord of the Rings or their, whatever.
And that's what I like, because in the end, we like. I like that aspect of being taught without knowing, and on top of that, seeing what some of the new people are doing. When I say new, I know a lot of the current videographers in Toronto started within that 2014, 2017 timeline.
Yeah.
When I say current, I mean like for example, now every director I'm bringing up, I absolutely love. I don't know, maybe they could have started sooner on a different name. Orazio, bro. Even guys like Orazio, Julizezzo, who are the other guys? I'm thinking there's a lot of directors in the city. And that's the thing. I'm good with all. I'm like, oh, not good with all of them, but like you're civil with all of them. There's obviously a bunch you're cool with, but like I'm gonna bring up those two guys, Charlton, Marcus Letts. Because especially with Charlton, him and I, especially with me shooting in the Toronto scene, like I said, I started earlier, but I wasn't in the Toronto scene like that. Yeah. My first Toronto rapper I really filmed.
We'll move that over.
I know, I keep knocking it and shit. My hands are fucking all. It's our Mediterranean,
Facts.
like our hand movements.
Expressive.
Roney was my first, like I would say, Toronto rapper I filmed, and I heard my friends would listen to him in high school. And like I was listening to him too around the time like I was being introduced to Chief Keef. I heard of Roney. Yeah. I'm listening to Don't Sleep Volume 1, Don't Sleep Volume 2. I'm like, holy shit, this guy could spit. Fucking hit him up on Twitter, and I said, I want to shoot a video for you. He tells me he has Don't Sleep Volume 3 coming out. He wants to do 2 videos with me. I told him $100 for 2 videos. He's like, perfect. The only thing and even then, with that $100, I used that to get the studio that we even shot in for the first video. So technically the second one was just free. So I got the studio because my goal at that point was I've never seen Roney film inside a white screen studio, and I want to be that first person to do it. So I did that. We shot Get Back. Again, simple video. We shot it in like 2012, 2013. Ended up being a whole like it came out 2014, 2015. It was dope. We did that. Then we did Dear Smith and Wesson, which to me, again, it was another video. And I was just happy to be working with the guy, getting to know him, again, that was the second time us meeting when we did the second video, but Roney was the first rapper I met or like artist that was like really like talkative outside of just the music shit, just like being just genuine,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard finding that, especially when you've been like, I wasn't the outcast, I was definitely a weirdo, but like to find someone that like that fucks with your ideas, that wants to expand it was refreshing. So we're like, okay. And then around that time is when, like a bit after that, high school was just wrapping up. And then I'm thinking, shit, I'm about to go to college. I might want to start shooting my first feature film when I'm 19. Let's fucking do this. No. I couldn't do it. It was the feature films are a whole different route, where even now I'm now starting to make the transition because I've done a few feature films now. So now I understand the format of it, the marketing of it, what you got to do in the new age to blow your product up as far as like a feature film standpoint. But sometimes I just think on the old artists I used to film with and just go like, they're the reason why maybe my looks might look a certain way on film, and not only that, humble beginnings. So, like I a lot of different examples, and I look at Orazio and Jules has done, like they came into the scene with bangers right off the bat. I remember at the time as well, like they weren't doing like the 3D stuff they're known for, like. They were doing like what we would see in Cole Bennett videos. They would have the glows around them, the animations.
Smoke perp videos.
Oh hell yeah, and it would be shit like that. I think more for Orazio, he was more on the clean route. So he would do like the masking, multiplying. I remember a lot of his earlier videos, there was a lot of fire, so he would have fire in a room and shit. And he's a dude where I don't know what the fuck happened within the last 6 months. I don't know if he won the lottery and he said, fuck it, I can do these effects on an upgraded system and just kill it. Maybe he spent that time just learning.
Yeah.
His last 2 videos are the hardest videos I've seen in the city, both by the simplicity of how it was shot and by the outcome of it. Because it's easy to get stock footage online and then incorporate it seamlessly in a video, switching up a 1-2 to the point where people think it's your effect. Like they don't think someone else created it.
Right.
The amount of finessing that comes with the video stuff, in terms of, like, I could go on YouTube right now, type down gun model 3D spinning green screen, download 30 of these, change the colors slightly, multiply it in the program, then just like take out the green screen. All of a sudden I have guns floating in my video. And mind you, I'm not saying that's what Orazio does. I can tell they do it more custom. If you look at the reflection of the gun spinning, if there's no reflection that matches the scene, they got it online.
Right.
If you could see maybe the artist's arm move, and then in the reflection of the gun, there's a movement at the same time, they created that within the 3D space and incorporated it into the footage. And there's a lot of directors, not a lot, there's one specific director that does a lot of finessing. And I also have to give him all, but I can't get mad at him because he's not claiming to be that dude to go for, like, in terms of the 3D stuff. He just knows how to put a sick video together, and he's being used a lot in the Toronto scene. So his hustle, same thing. Can't get mad at him. I can't get mad. It's, to me, that's his style now. That's naturally his style. Although he's attempted the 3D stuff and all that, it's one of those where it's like he knows it's not his thing. He has a team he's expanding on. He'll do a 1-2 with the titles. You know, the titles are all in 3D now.
Right.
But mainly what I've noticed is, like, a lot of these dudes are just finessing with green screen shit. And Orazio and Jules, despite them having similar looks to what a lot of people think, I genuinely, like, when I tell you, if I see a post by either of those two, I will jump on that video right away. That's literally what it is. And even now, I know Orazio works with tiny tapes a lot now, and their combination with the Mad Ox video and the Bad Baby video, whatever project they've touched, has been fucking crazy. And now what I like within the scene that wasn't like this before, and realistically, I know a lot of people started working together in Toronto, I would say around 2015, 2016, because around that time, we started doing Riff Raff videos. So we started shooting for Riff Raff, me and Martina. Not as ourselves, though. We went with another brand called Captured Films.
Okay.
They did, the first time Waka Flocka really came to Toronto, they were the ones that filmed. It was a collective. So there was the director, Dan Barker, editor, Lucas Sewards, who would do editing and camera work and VFX. And then they had a dude named Darren, Focused Visions. All these, all within the span of 2009 till 2016. Like, when I tell you quality videos for a good rate, those were the fucking guys. And then obviously, like, you know, we came in, the team expanded, certain people left to go do their own stuff. So within that time, we were filming and doing our thing. When I say we, me and my friend from Humber, Screwface Films, I can't even say friend, he's like a brother to me.
Shout out Screwface.
Shout out Screwface Films, man. Like, I remember I was doing my thing, but when I tell you again, a dude that was just as passionate as me, had more energy. Again, I was a very quiet dude, even when it came to shit outside of work, like school. This dude fucking motivated me, and it just came naturally. Like, we started working. We worked with Captured Films. So he was on set with me while we went on tour with Riff Raff. He went to Hamilton, fucking London. Like, we went everywhere. And we did the video work, and then it was all humble shit. Because in the end, Riff Raff is a wild fucking character.
Bro, I gotta interrupt. I am a fucking massive Riff Raff fan, bro. So you need to expand on that for me.
So I'll tell you how I got the video and what went down. And what the video was. And I'll try and play. Maybe what I'll do is I'll also send you clips. Because I have a lot of shit on my Instagram and on my personal shit. So you could put that over just to show. So basically, I get a post. Another videographer. Shout out Brown Guy.
Shout out Brown Guy.
Because him and I were also very early stages, swapping secrets, talking. He made a post saying, yo, I got a video shoot coming up. I need someone to drive a very big artist, like on Facebook, but we need a black SUV. A lot of people hit up. They said, I don't have an SUV, but I could drive him. I said, I got a black Jeep Cherokee, like SUV model. He said, fuck it. It was like at 9 a.m. Like literally 2 people responded. So I responded. They said, boom, go. I call him and I called the director. I said, who's the artist I'm picking up? He said, Riff Raff. I'm shitting, yo. My vehicle. When I tell you, like, my vehicle's a fucking mess. It looks like I live in my vehicle. This is the first time, and mind you, I respond to this in school. I'm already inside my class at Humber, and Screwface can attest to this if we can get him on an episode. I literally got up from class right before it started and left.
Fire.
I left as soon as I got the yes, and then I was what's going on? Yeah, you're gonna be driving Riff Raff from Toronto to Port Perry. I'm in a car 4 hours with Riff Raff and I'm getting paid? Why am I here? I got up, left, cleaned my vehicle. I told my mom class was canceled. I lied. Class is canceled. I don't know what the fuck. Someone pulled the fire alarm. She's like, it's college. They're going to fix it. I'm like, I don't know. Go grab my shit, clean my vehicle. And I'm thinking, I'm going to bring my drone and my lights, my camera, my stabilizer, just in case. Go to Toronto. Riff Raff's inside my vehicle with his Canadian tour manager and some chick. I'm ecstatic. And now a lot of people have bad experiences first time with celebs. Riff Raff was so dope. Like, I'm very happy to say he was the fucking funniest dude I've ever met in my life. But that's also the scariest thing. This is my first interaction with him, so everything's going dope. You know, like he walks in, he's doing the whole fitness thing at the time. Mind you, I don't know what video we're still filming. I don't know the track. I don't know nothing. Goes, gets a few pills for detox. You know, we go into Shoppers Drug Mart. I get Sprite. He pulls out 3 things of Aunt Jemima maple syrup. I don't know. I didn't ask him what's inside his bag. I go inside. I'm like, what's in your bag? He's like, I got syrup for your Sprite. I started dying of laughter. I'm driving, and as I'm driving, he rolls down the window, and he starts tossing each bottle on, like, the fucking, I forget if we were on the 401, out the fucking window. He's like, I could have played for the Toronto Raptors. I could have played for the Versace Bandoliers. And, like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. He's just a fun time. I get to the set. Mind you, I don't listen to this next artist I'm about to bring up. I didn't really know about until Praise the Lord, the song with
Skepta.
Okay, yeah, Riff Raff and Skepta, Back from the Dead. We were shooting that in Port Perry, and I was fucking ecstatic. And I'm thinking, okay, I just want to get a photo with Riff Raff because I saw him perform last year at Danforth Music Hall.
I was there, bro. He threw pizza into the crowd.
Yeah. Yep, and this is when he had like the signs,
yes.
and the neon braids. I remember he did "Cuz My Gear," and
and he came out super late. Too.
Yeah, he came out fucking late. He came out fucking late.
Shout out to the fucking Highroller legend,
Jody Highroller. But that's consistent with him though. Like, I'm not saying that in a bad way too. He doesn't come out late, but there was one specific incident. The second time we went on tour, he was getting the stars on his neck colored in. So we went to FYI Tattoos, and then like literally like he texted the promoter saying, I'm gonna be 50 minutes late. And he shut down the whole tattoo shop. So it was just him. People are taking photos. I'm in like a spinny chair like this, spinning around because my ADHD is all over the place. I don't want to look like a nerd, but at the same time, I'm fucking bored, so I'm gonna be spinning.
Facts.
But like again, that whole experience with him was like crazy, and the shoots we did with him were even crazier. Back from the Dead was a whole horror movie premise. Wasn't my premise. Again, Captured Films was the one that dealt with that, specifically Dan Barker, the director. But they were looking for a drone. I have a drone. Okay. Can we use it? Can you do drone shots for us? Cool. Did drone shots for that. I'm like, sweet, I got a credit in the video. All of a sudden, we need help with green screen. We need help with lighting. We need help with all this other shit. I just came in. I said, listen, I know you guys told me to drive him and I could leave, but I want to help out on set. I helped out on set. I ended up getting my photo with him. I ended up fucking getting paid for it as well. And then he came back literally like 6 months later for his tour. And then we did, with Captured Films, we did his tour. We shot Black of the Dawn's video, Bands in Advance. There's a song with Riff Raff and Falcon Crest called The Shine, I think. I forget, or I had a different name. It's not The Shine, but it was something more complicated. And again, we went on tour with him. So because he was familiar with us already, he said, all right, these will just be the dudes that drive us. So now we're driving Riff Raff to London. We're driving him to Hamilton. We're driving to Toronto. We're driving him to Oshawa. And now, like, I know he took the train and flights for his Ottawa and Montreal stuff. We didn't go to that because at that point, you need some fucking sleep.
Yeah.
This dude will go, and that's where I love his commitment and where artists beat your expectations. I thought he'd be like a lot of other artists I've seen where they get paid and they just do the bare minimum and then they get the fuck out because they got paid. When I tell you Riff Raff, like, created a set for us, Riff Raff would do the song. Even if the guy didn't have the money for the video, he would be like, yo, let's just shoot the video right now. Like, he didn't give a shit because in the end, he got paid. He did 20 minutes inside the booth. You gave him $2,000, even though technically it's supposed to be $5,000. fuck it, let's shoot a video, and then you could pay me the other $2,500 before you release it, because then obviously like clearance and all that for the track, and where are you gonna promote it. So it was an interesting experience. That was the first time like I ever really went on tour. Like, it was with Riff Raff.
Your first tour is with fucking Riff Raff.
Yeah, and it's funny because videographers on tour, and if you want to look at certain videographers that are touring, Dante Chung, he's with DJ Charlie B a lot.
Yep.
You look at his videos, because you will meet the artists you want to meet. You'll meet some fucking crazy people, some crazy connections. When I tell you that boy hasn't put down his damn laptop, and I see Premiere opened up each time. We were in the VIP section with Riff Raff. Me and Screwface were sitting there looking at the laptop, editing the next vlog video, or editing the next like music video. And while you're on tour with certain artists, you got to shoot music videos for them. It's part of the not contract. We weren't given a contract. It was more verbal agreement. But
way of the road.
Yeah, exactly. Way of the road. And, in the end, like, those, again, Riff Raff, I would Back from the Dead definitely touched a couple million. His other videos obviously didn't touch, like, millions or so, but wanna know what? For the type of person he is, and then his name, because in the end, all these new artists are still doing features with Riff Raff. Riff Raff became that staple in hip-hop, even though it was all jokes and shit. He came in, and now as you're blowing up, you got to get a feature with Riff Raff.
I am dead serious when I say Riff Raff is, to me, one of the most influential artists of the past however many years, bro.
Oh, hell yeah. Especially him and Soulja Boy for the internet age, especially.
Massive.
And, yeah, man. But the problem with Riff Raff, though, as a videographer is good luck.
The wild one.
Good fucking luck. Holy shit. Back from the Dead, maybe because Skepta was coming in from UK, that's why it ended up like that. But he's also the type of dude where he'll change his mind. You'll have a plan for a track, boom, different track you're doing, like literally the day you show up. Again, not a bad thing, but you also got to be ready as well for editing. Riff Raff likes very wild, like, stuff. Like, with his song Bands in Advance with Black of the Dawn, we did an edit. He has a song he has a line where he brings up apricots. Okay. This guy calls us at 4 a.m. ringing our line. Yo, what's good? I see it's Riff's manager. I'm like, yo, what's good? He's like, yo, Riff wants a 1 2 change. He's wondering if you get apricots and slice them up for the video and put them in. I was like, I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, you're seeing, I was laughing. I'm like, nah, but what do you think of the video, though? He's no, the video is hard, but we have a list of suggestions. You have to do him as Indiana Jones. You have to, Photoshop him in a way. He wants Sprite bottles floating or lean bottles floating in the video. And this is before people started doing the 3D floating shit, like all this 3D floating stuff. So we didn't even do it in 3D. Like, I remember I just literally just grabbed images of lean cups and I just had it spin in a 2D space. I would warp the background green, give it that high, like your high type of visual. And we just rocked with that. And I knew a lot of people weren't really doing that at the time, especially within 2015. Like, I remember the first time I saw glow effects, I saw it very briefly in like a Russian video. And I was like, this is weird. And he put the link in a tutorial that had like 100 views. He put the link on where to find the Red Giant and all these effects programs. So I started doing the glow stuff. That was my thing. So I would like to say there's a guy, a videographer in the States named Louis Knows, and he does like a lot of big like artists as well. The way he shoots and edits with like if any videographers are watching, the glow effect from Ecto, if you know the word Ecto, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Tell them.
It's like that's what we were on in 2015. So that was like our thing. And Screwface and I, we would do that. We would go, fuck it, like, let's stylize the video. This isn't gonna be a stereotypical music video. We're gonna fucking add shit that's neon pink glowing in the background.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the backgrounds distort. I might have a fucking fireball come down and crash into the frame. I didn't give a shit at that time. There was a 2-year thing where Screwface and I, every day we shot a video, and every day we'd be editing. I would go to his place in Brampton, up till 4 a.m. editing. He'd come to my place. We'd be up editing till we'd pull days with no sleep editing. Burning. We did a video for Pressa, Maserati. Our jobs were just editors. So same thing. Captured Film shot it, but this time they said, okay, outside the Captured Film brand, Dimitri, you're gonna edit this.
Right.
Problem with Pressa, they want their video done in 3 days. Now at this time I did not have the computer that I had for Fuck Rap. That was 2 years after the fact. I was editing off a fucking $900 laptop. When I literally tell you I fried my hard drive, I got the video sent in 3 days. And that's also 3 days of green screening, 3D work, shit that's not even meant for this laptop. But because I was just like, we were hungry. I can't say I. Screwface and I were hungry. We would go to Dan's place. Now, mind you, Brampton to Bowmanville's a fucking drive. For 3 days straight, that's what we did. We edited, got the video sent, didn't hear shit for a year and a half. We thought they hated the fucking video. We got paid, thought they hated the video. There's no way it's getting released. Finally comes out after a year and a half. Dope. What was the 3-day deadline for? I literally could have had my new computer and done some crazier shit. I thought it was gonna be out next week. What the fuck?
Year and a half
later, and he did no notice or nothing. I get spam messaged one morning, 10 DMs. Bro, you did a video for Pressa? ? I'm like, oh yeah, what the fuck happened? Like at this point, I didn't give a shit if it was gonna come out. I look, I see it's out, and I'm like, I guess that's what it is. And that was the first time I've ever dealt with a video that's going to be released a year or so after you shoot it. And I didn't know that how much of a thing that was until literally like while we were doing the stuff with Kevin Rowley, AR Paisley, because now we started working with labels more.
Okay.
And even out in Greece. So then I would do videos out in Greece. We would shoot, and normally in Greece, they would wait till I get home. I'd edit in a month, and that's whatever. And then they would just release it. This time, I edited, did the same thing, but it wasn't released. They held on to those fucking videos. And I noticed a lot of videos, even to this day, there are videos that we did in 2016, 2017 that still haven't been released, that we've been updated, that they're coming out.
Wow.
Like, they're going to be coming out soon, in fact. And the problem with that as a videographer, especially because I've updated my whole camera equipment, my editing, the way I edit, the way I shoot, everything's practically has elevated, but I've also taken out a lot of shit. Especially because I know if this video comes out now and someone sees this, I don't know if I'm going to fully post it on my page. I don't know if I'm going to support it. Obviously, it's my video. And even at a time, I'll look back at those videos and smile and be like, well, you know what? For what it was at that point of where I was mentally and what was going on in my life, that was fucking sick.
Yeah.
And as much as I could say there are videos of mine that I fucking hate, all those videos I love at the same time.
I completely understand that.
Yeah.
You evolve.
Oh yeah, you have to evolve. You have to evolve. And one thing that, like, as far as the evolving now is seeing all the guys now that are doing it. Like I said, around my time, dudes, like, when I say my time, I sound old as shit. But as a videographer, literally, like within the next 3 years, I gotta dip out of the music video scene. You can't be told you're 30 years old shooting a fucking tele video. True. What the fuck? Like, and I'm not saying that's bad. If you do that, and if you're getting the money that you're getting to live comfortably, actually no, fuck that whole statement. If you're getting the money that you're getting to live comfortably and legally, who gives a shit? Yeah. You're 30 years old shooting tele videos. You're getting paid $1,000 per video, and you shoot 5 videos per month. That's $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? You can at least live. And not only that, like I said, it's harmless somewhat. And that, I think there might be a story a different day for this. Videographers, if you're shooting for certain artists, make sure they're good so you don't go to jail. Different day for that story.
Part 2 coming up.
Part 2, that's all. I could go on about it now, but I also need to think about how I can frame the story, because it's with people that I've known. I didn't work with a lot in terms of like personal work. We've done maybe 2 videos, one before the incident, but it's like you also got to understand the Toronto scene specifically. Like, it wasn't like, for me, it wasn't like how it was when I first started. I could shoot some street dudes and there's no bullshit that was attached to them. There was no bullshit that they brought on set. Everybody was very transparent on how the set was going to be conducted. Even now, I try to conduct my sets where it's none of that can happen. Like, we have a makeup artist, we have a lighting guy, we're trying to make it more official. And, you know, obviously with the way the scene has gone and who's popular in the scene, there's a certain type of fuckery that's being brought up. And although a lot of videographers film for a lot of these fuckery artists and it's what it is, like, you know, work's work, business is business, it will catch up. And I've seen examples of that in the States. Certain video, even here, I forget which videographer that was shot, and he doesn't film anymore.
For sure.
There are videographers that have snitched. There have been certain videographers that have done certain things, and it's not even like, even though you're the videographer and you'll be found innocent in the end, lawyer costs, curfew, police seize your equipment.
Shit you don't want to deal with.
I'm not gonna say because another person very close to me dealt with this as well. You get your shit seized. I had all of my shit seized within that time, and I had to empty out my savings on lawyers and new equipment.
Holy fuck!
And even to this day, because this happened very recently. Like, obviously everything's dropped, everything's good. I am still recovering from that. So it's like, and even despite as big as the projects get, there's also a certain level of caution. I love EBE Bandz. Yeah. Like I said earlier in the interview, there are certain artists that we were in contact with that were in some real shit.
Yes.
But that's because with us, the real shit wasn't brought into us. And you see these examples from the outside. I always tell every new videographer or even artist, tread your ground with who you work with and make it very apparent that if you're not about that life, you're not about that life. Yeah. Now, also, a lot of people lie. There are so many artists I've shot for that are 100% not about that life. I've been to their fucking parents' house. I've seen their setup. I know what they do for a living. They're not about that life. Their music makes it seem like another thing, though. And if I understand some people are stuck in the delusion of if that's what sells, that sells. Lil Tecca is a perfect example. Even I will say, prior to Lil Tecca, Slim Jesus.
Shout out Slim Jesus. What was that shit called?
Shout out oh my god, was Drill Time?
Drill Time. These weapons are not real.
These weapons are not real.
That was the first time I'd ever seen that.
Bro, I was looking at that video, and we almost did a video with Slim Jesus as well. He had a guy that we filmed for a lot that came from Atlanta here. His name was Actual. He had a track with Slim Jesus, had a track with outside the other Slim Jesus, Slim 400, who sadly also passed away.
R.I.P.
We did a video with Slim 400. It wasn't Slim 400 wasn't there, but Actual was a feature on that track, so we were part of the camera team for that. So it's just like you just gotta be weary. You gotta understand like what's around you, who's what, and also be very clear because I see a lot of videographers shooting a lot of dangerous content. Maybe they know who they're dissing. They don't give a fuck because of the payment and because of the clout that will come from that. Listen, I already saw another videographer get pressed in the mall because he fucking shot for someone, even if they wasn't diss videos, man. And in the end, I shot on every side. I've shot for the dudes from Varna. I shot Lil Debbie's diss tape to TJ while working with TJ.
No way.
We all knew. It wasn't a promo stunt with Debbie where her and TJ were talking, they were laughing. No, it was her in top 5. They were talking, laughing, said, let's do a little TJ diss. We shot it in Varna. I've shot in Varna for the dudes before that. I know dudes from Regent and Varna are beefing. I'm shooting for Roney as I'm shooting for the guys in Varna. I'm shooting the Gene and Finch guys as I'm shooting the fucking dudes in Brampton. And because I always tell them in the end, you send me a track. If I hear I don't care if you're saying you got guns or I'm selling packs. I don't give a shit if you're saying that.
Self-incriminate if you want.
Yeah, because in the end, you're not dissing another side I'm filming for. Even you might be slightly dissing them. I don't want to hear names. I don't want to hear none of this block talk. I don't want to hear none of that. And that's how I kept it throughout this whole time. That's why even though I might work with Pressa's people and bring up, I filmed for Roney, and I bring up their ops, or who I guess they consider their ops. In the end, I try to make it clear. I'm not part of the politics. This is a business venture. I'm not shooting your diss videos that Press is going to be dissing maybe Homie, and then I go to film Homie, and they're like, what the fuck? Like you shot their video. Like, I'm obviously not going to shoot with you. Now it's a problem with us. No, get the fuck out of that. And I also know a lot of videographers who have shot those diss videos and didn't put their name on it. And again, to the main audience, maybe even to the artists, it's very clear that they don't know who the videographer is. For the videographers, oh my fucking god, the amount of times I messaged certain videographers and went, "You're a fucking demon," and then for me to do that exact same thing for a different project, and it was more now with me. With my thing was, it wasn't a diss video when I edited it. But they swapped out the audio after the fact because they didn't like the guy's verse and the guy wore a mask. So, now mind you, this also isn't a Canadian video. This is from the States. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Or else I'd be fucking...
That'd be a little slippery.
Like the guy wore a mask in the video. They shot it. I edited it. As far as I knew, they have money. Obviously in the States they got their guns and shit. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a diss towards a single living soul in that video. No names brought up, no mention of no one's dead, whatever. And then I get told, "Yo, promote this video, post this on your page." I hear the first verse, same shit, everything's good. I then watch the video after I post it, And I hit them back. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I'm like, and listen, there are people that get shot every day in different cities that aren't even big rappers. So these rappers weren't big. So it's like, bro, but it's enough where I can go online and figure out who's beefing who. Facts. On Reddit and certain YouTube comment sections. That's why police are able to do their job so good.
Torontology.
Yo, shout out Torontology, real shit. Shout out to Torontology and Rap Cap, T.O. Because another thing I've always wanted to do is expose certain rappers for buying views and for faking their shit. And even now, there are a lot of rappers that are now having that main audience mainstream that the first few videos that people thought they blew up weren't manufactured. Yeah. And that's the first thing you learn as a videographer when working with labels, manufacturing views. You may not be taught that specific how to do, but you learn the algorithm. You learn, for example, I'll say it like this. Only because I just realized I only have 10 minutes left. So
until part 2.
Until part 2, I might come back next week and do another one. I'm not lying. There's a lot I could talk about.
Let's get it. I'm here, bro.
I'll pull this up. So to kind of finish off on that, and I know I've been all over the topic, so my apologies to anybody trying to keep up and hearing me go back and forth.
Nah, don't apologize, bro. This is fire.
Basically, there's a Greek rapper in Greece, top 10 rapper in Greece. I work with this rap group. I'm not going to say I co-manage them. I don't. Yeah. I personally haven't invested in them. And that's the other thing I'm doing. As a videographer, I'm trying to manage my way of managing certain artists from what I've experienced. Not because I want to do personal benefit. I have an experiment that I'm trying to do. Can I blow up a fucking artist without really having to fucking, deal with the natural ways of stuff? So with this track I'm about to bring up, this is the most natural way. Everything was organic. All the views were organic. And then I'll bring up a video that, I'm not going to lie, everybody does it. Spent a bit of cash, bought a few views, bought a few likes and comments, customized comments. And I think I'll go more into that into the second video on consistency and tricking the algorithm. Because as much as I go on to my video stuff and I have to keep going on about my video stuff, about my past, there's so much more I have to explain, so many more incidents, shit that could fuck up on set. But in this case, we did this video with this guy from Greece. He's now the top 10 rapper in Greece. He has millions of views, millions of views. We caught him before his blow up, so I reached out to him. Again, I'm in the Greek scene. I wouldn't work in the trap scene because it didn't blow up in Greece until 2019. Okay. Trap in Greece, the drill scene, in New York, in England, started hitting Greece around that time. No one was really trying to do Chief Keef type stuff. And if they were getting torn to shreds in that country. It was like, fuck you, you suck. Spit on them.
Yeah.
We reach out to this artist. We get the track a year later, sadly. Because within that time of that, he blows up. He was at 10,000 followers from the scene. Now he's almost at 100K. In Greece, it's a small country, 12 million people. So even 1 million views on a video,
crazy,
fucking crazy. And the same thing in Greece. Sometimes even to live in a 1-bedroom apartment here is 2,000, maybe 1,800 if you're lucky. In Greece, 300 euros. This guy's making 750 off that one YouTube video, and that was his blow up video that got maybe 500,000 views. We get the feature. We go on tour with him in New York and Boston. We shoot the video in New York, shoot the rest of the video in Toronto, because the guys in Toronto are Greeks that move. One's Greek Albanian, the rest are Greeks that moved to Toronto, and they're living their life out here. Not living their life, but they're hard workers. That's all I gotta say. They're really fucking hard workers. We did this video, and we uploaded it. We released it. We did everything natural. Spotify promotions. The artist posted it on his page. We got, right now, as of 8 days, 35,000 views. I think 1.5K likes and 205 comments. I know those are all natural because the budget we spent just to get that, in euros, mind you, was for promotions 1,500 euros, which is close to it being 2,100 Canadian.
Right.
Not a lot of artists will pay 2,100 for promo out here. And the fact, and mind you, ours is still going up. When you look at the graph, you can see it's been a steady build. It's not like it's spiked up and then spiked down a day or two after. So we did that. We were part of the whole video conception and all that, and that was all natural. To be quite honest, I believe in under a month it's naturally gonna get 100,000. And because of how natural that is, I even saw how many subscribers they got. They went from 15 subscribers to 325 from that one video.
That's crazy.
and now we got more features, like, and even bigger artists features from Greece. So videos that we know that if they promote, it's gonna touch 1 million naturally. And then I go on certain Toronto videos. I see that they have 30,000 views, but they have 100 likes and 40 comments. That doesn't make sense.
No.
I see certain Toronto artists that maybe paid for a big feature, like someone got a feature. I don't know, you consider that big. Chromaz paid for a feature with Chromaz, touches 2 million. Okay, you have 2 million. Why do you have 45 likes on the video?
Yeah.
Like, there's certain, like, and it's like,
it's clear.
It's very clear. Now, that's a very clear example. But then again, I don't want to name drop, and I'm not going to name drop in this specific case, because there are certain artists right now that are popping that we can see that we know aren't at that talent level, that they're now getting to that point because of the amount that they've done, but they got that early cloud, that early release, and you're looking at them, you're like, now you know they're getting legit views. You could tell, because how is it that you're getting 1 million and like before you blow up, and then now you've blown up, you've gotten certain big features from a bunch of different artists, but your views aren't keeping up with how you were solo in the city? That doesn't make sense. Videographers know this. We won't discuss it like that. Like, it's like none of our business, obviously.
Nice.
But I'm going to be the first one to say it. And not a lot of people go out and say it. This is a common practice in the music scene. Even in the video scene. I would lie if I would say I know so many directors that released their first feature film. Maybe they paid to get it uploaded on a big website. Maybe spend a few for blogs to post or CTV News, whatever. Maybe the actual trailer for that movie that they promoted has 5,000 views, and then they'll buy 50,000. All of a sudden, 3 days of the release. Now the film community is fucking blind to this shit. They're not used to people buying views, because who the fuck's gonna buy views on a movie?
Facts.
People that want to show that they can garner the audience for a big budget. So when you go to the investor to actually get a few 100,000 as a budget, they could see your line of music video work, line of whatever work you've done, and then they'll click on that one video. I'll be like, hey, I shot a 40-minute short film, and it's sitting at 325,000 views. And as long as it looks good enough, obviously, if the quality of it, let's say you don't have those views, if the quality of it makes sense, they're going to fucking throw the money at you. They don't care. And then again, in the film community, they do not care. That's why YouTubers are getting feature films on Netflix, on Amazon, and they're doing bullshit, cheap videos, 3 a.m. Mac Miller called me at 3 a.m. in the morning, even though he's dead, type videos. And they're getting little kids to watch it. They have maybe a few thousand subscribers. They buy their views. They go to that investor. The investor doesn't know that they buy their views. All he sees are the numbers. He sees that they're subscribers. Even if it's bought subscribers, bought commenters, to them, who gives a shit? Here's your fucking $150,000 budget. Go shoot your short film.
Wow.
And that's where the film world and the music world intertwine. If you know how to finesse the music scene as a filmmaker, you will learn how to finesse the fucking movie industry. Especially, and that's what a lot of these guys did as well back in the day. Like they found ways to finesse to get bigger audiences. They did certain practices which at the time were probably very risque, not approved of, but it worked. And in the end, as long as you're not hurting anybody and you can do what you want, like in the end, I'm trying to shoot my first big war zombie epic. Takes place in ancient Greece. It's a zombie apocalypse type movie. When I tell you we're having armies of Spartans fighting armies of zombies, I am not joking when I'm saying I'm trying to bring that to life. And I also know, because of certain practices outside of just like my YouTube work and me being incorporated, I've done feature film work for visual effects. I've done DOP lighting for certain films. So I know I can go into that meeting. I don't even have that script ready. I could pitch that whole fucking thing and I'll get what I need, or get the ball rolling to get what I need.
Yeah.
Even while in the music industry, I've met so many certain producers, and not even producers in the sense of music producers that make beats, producers in the sense of they're willing to fund your project. Even if they're not even in the film scene, they said, fuck it, I'll give you $20,000. I don't even care for a return. Just put my name on the movie. So you'll meet people like that. And in the end, if that's all they ask for, and there's obviously an obvious agreement that's there and very understanding, deal with it. There are ways around it to get where you want. Because in the end, let's say I get $300,000 for that main short film, at least $5,000 of that I could put to the side. I could put that in TIFF. I could put that in Cannes, all the big film festivals, and it will get approved. I could have Hollywood producers watching my movie. Maybe someone might come up to me, buy the rights for it for $500,000. Now I paid everybody back, and I have $200,000 in the pocket. On top of that, maybe a few film distributors saw that after buying the film and said, let's have you work on another project. Maybe not like Avengers type shit, but we're willing to give you, for 4 months of work, $60,000. Fuck yeah. In a heartbeat. I've done part-time work for e-commerce that paid me $45,000 a year. I've made, and that was my first like legit job too. Like my work has mainly been video work, and even though that was related to video work, I know my end goal is film, and I know how to get there. And it's just now just about transitioning and taking what you learn and applying it to that specific genre. And if I don't make it on feature films, I'll at least do the ones that I want to make, and then continue shooting the weddings because it's the money bag season, and I will continue shooting weddings if that bag's there.
Big facts. Bro, that was amazing. You definitely have to come back for a part 2 because we can go on for hours.
Oh,
I have
I know.
mad shit I want to ask you, but we'll save that.
Bro, I feel so bad. I've been talking this whole time.
Bro, that's the point, man. You're a dream guest, man.
Honestly, and
I love that.
That's the thing. And even I seen you like interview Capital T Films. Shout out to him. Shout out to Capital too. I can, in each interview, I'll be shouting out a lot of videographers because we've all influenced each other. We all work within the same scene. And in the end, all of us have stories, whether you're outspoken or maybe more introvert, that you can bring to the public. And maybe you might be helping out the next person that wants to get into this venture, or let them understand at least the different aspects and how different people tackle this industry. And I think, and I'm not going to say I'm a perfect videographer or a perfect filmmaker. I know the advanced stuff, the bare minimum stuff. I could talk about branding all fucking day. I don't even know how to brand myself at times. It's because I haven't put that energy into that.
Right.
But in the end, if you can take what you've learned and apply it, and even hear different sides of the stuff and form your own way of doing it, there are multiple ways to success, people. And essentially, like, doesn't matter what route you take, as long as you keep that energy high, fuck all the bullshit, and just be true to yourself, true to your work, it's going to happen within patience and time. That's it.
Huge facts.
Huge facts.
Vigilante facts. Dimitri The Shooter. Apostolos Films. Shout out to the legend. Part 2 coming very soon. I think so. Gang. Appreciate you, my guy.
I appreciate you too. Thank you for bringing me on. And follow the homie too, man.
Follow, like, subscribe. Any songs coming out, any videos coming out for you in the next like little while?
Well, we just had one drop today. Tara Lord Dash.
Saw that. That was hard.
So I appreciate that.
Shout out to her.
We got Tara Lord Dash. We have, again, this is Greek. Fota GWA. So FOTA is the song's track. Just type down GWA or Fly Low and it will pop up. We got a lot more coming soon, people. And I know he's got a lot more coming soon. Follow and subscribe, comment. Give the homie some love, man. He's fucking killing it.
300.